Howdy ho everybody, welcome back to the Roost and another No Man's Sky video. We're standing here freezing our butts off on this very icy moon called Wiverrosb. And there's a portal behind me. And if you read the video description, you already know what we're going to talk about today. That's right, the portal addresses. So let's go over here and fire this puppy up. Alright, so the way these work, you see there's 16 different glyphs, numbering from 1 through 16. So you have to power these things up. The reason there's 16 glyphs is because this is a hexadecimal system. Hexadecimal is base 16. So just go through here, charge them all up. Now the portal's ready to use. All 16 glyphs are powered up and ready. Now, a portal address is made up of only 12 glyphs. 12 glyphs. And we're going to talk about what those glyphs and the order of the glyphs actually mean today. Have you ever wondered that? I got a really good question on my last video about the infinite salvage module video. I got a good question about the addresses. The user noticed that the addresses were very similar and wondered why that was. Well, here's why. So you have 16 total glyphs, right? There's 12 in every system address, every portal address. The first glyph gives you the planet index. So let's go ahead and pull up the address for this system here. Or better yet, let's just have the portal tell us. Many versions ago, you used to have to get the planet address from the portal, but now you get it in photo mode. But anyway, let's do it the old-fashioned way and request this planet's address. All right, here's a perfect example of a planet address. There are 12 glyphs arranged in sequence. Now, these glyphs mean something from left to right. Remember, we're in a hexadecimal system. So this gives us hexadecimal information about the system that we are in and the planet that we are in. This first glyph, the face, in this case it's the face, this is called the planet index. All right, this tells us which planet in the system we are at. Now this system is a little bit special in that when we're up on the space station, the first glyph will be the face. Normally that's not the case, but I'll talk about that in a minute. So the first glyph is the planet index. This tells us which planet in the system we are on. This can range from anywhere up to 1 through 6 because there's only a maximum of 6 planetary bodies in every system. Mix of planets and moons, altogether they can only be 6. So this first glyph will always either be the bird, which is value 1, the face, which is value 2, the dino or diplo, which is value 3, the moon or eclipse, that's value 4, the parachute, which is value 5, and the boat, which is value 6. You can also see a sun in this first spot, and that is has a hex value of 0, and that means that you are going to sort of the default position. Okay, if ever you see the sun, there is no actual planet 0 in any planet, but if you place the sun in that spot when you enter address into a portal, it'll default to position 1. So the sun or the bird in the first position will always take you to the same place, so long as the rest of the address is correct. The next 3 glyphs, in this case, you have the sun over the water, the teepee, and the tree. This gives us what's called the solar system index. Now each solar system in No Man's Sky, thank you, each system in No Man's Sky is given a index number, and that is indicated by these 3 glyphs. Okay, so this will always be the same star system. Again, this is per galaxy. All right, so if you were in a different galaxy, right now we're in Euclid, if you entered this address in Isentam, for instance, you'd go to a totally different place. The rest of the address, which is these 8 glyphs here, these give you the voxel position of the star system in the galaxy that you are in. A voxel position is a like a 3D pixel. A voxel is like a 3D pixel, okay? So this can be broken down very complexly, but these last 8 glyphs can be broken down to give you your X, Y, and Z within the galaxy, okay? So if 2 star systems are relatively nearby, this part of the address might be the same, okay? So again, these 8 glyphs here give us our position in the galaxy, the voxel position, X, Y, Z. These 3 give us the solar systems or star systems index number, which is assigned by the game to each star system. And then the first glyph tells us which planet in that system we go to. All right, so if we write this down here, we got face, sun, TP, tree, Triforce, moth, the moon, the whale, the triangle, the whale, the face, and the bug. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to put the address into this portal as is, but instead of putting the face at the beginning, I'm going to put the bird in the beginning. Take note of the system we are in. Orlia 16. All right, activate the portal. All right, so let us put in, first glyph, we're going to put in the bird. Now, I have not tested this at all, but using our knowledge of the way portal addresses work, where do you think this will take us? Here's the system. This is a moon of this planet, Uths. Now, I'll give you a hint. The address of this world, remember, I told you, was the default address for this system, and that's a little bit weird. Where do you think it's going to take us? You be thinking about that while I jump in the portal. And we are here. Did you guess that we would land on Uths? If you did, you win the cookie. All right, so I've never been to this portal before, but it is active because we just went through it. Now, okay, so that's where we were with Zaraba. Now we are on Uths. So Uths is planet number 1. Because Wivzarab is a moon of Uths, it is planet number 2. Now, I told you the default address for this system is the face being in the first glyph, the planet index being the face. That's because the planet, the moon rather, is actually the closest to the space station in this case. Usually the first planet of the system will be the closest to the space station, and therefore the closest to the warp exit point. And that's technically where it's closest to. Not every system has a space station, so the planet closest to the warp exit point, where you end up when you come out of warp, when you or come out of hyperdrive, when you enter a system, the planet closest to you will be planet value number 1. So that would have the glyph of bird. All right. The second closest would be the face, the third the dino, the fourth the moon, fifth parachute, and sixth the ship. And of course that's the maximum. But this station or this system is a little bit different because the moon is actually closest to the space station. So let's evaluate this again. In fact, let me go ahead and throw down a base computer. All right, so this is Uths. And capitalize it. Uths. All right. Yeah, let's do a little better than that. That's better. All right, leave. Now, let us power this one up. Now, again, you do need all 16 glyphs to fully utilize the portal network, although you don't necessarily have to have them all. because each address is only 12 glyphs. There are places you can go with portals without having all 16 glyphs, but if you just follow the main story of the game, you will pick up all 16 glyphs rather quickly. Also, occasionally, some expeditions, when they come up, occasionally milestone rewards will be all 16 glyphs at once. Alrighty, so we already know this planet's address, but let's look at it anyway. Alright, see? There's the bird. That's planet number 1 we're on here. And then the rest of the address is the same. The sun, the teepee, the tree. That is our star system. And then the triangle, the moth, the moon, the whale, the triangle, the whale, the face, and the bug. These 8 glyphs. What did they tell us again? That's right. That's the voxel address. Essentially the XYZ inside the galaxy. And we are in the Euclid galaxy. Alright. So let's do it one more time. And let's instead this time go to planet number 3. We know the moon is planetary body number 2. So let's do planet number 3. So what was the glyph for number 3? That's right, Diplo or Dino. And then the rest of the address is the same. All right, looking back at the system. It's either going to be this planet or that planet. It's kind of hard to tell when you look at the screen here, but it'll be one of these or one of those. This one or that one? Place your bets, please. Bloop. Timothan Akato. Well, we're still in the same system. It's good to know I didn't screw up the portal address. So, if we were to activate this one again, and then instead of using the Diplo, we used the moon, or eclipse glyph, whatever you want to call it, which planet would that take us to? Using what we've learned, what then would be the address to go to Maputan 15? And that's right, we would replace the first glyph in our series with the moon glyph. So let's do that. Just to check to make sure that we understand what's going on. So let me power this one up. All right, so what was our first glyph again to go to the last planet in this system? That's right, we're going to use the moon. All right, then the rest of the sequence is exactly the same as we've used before. All right. Last one in's a rotten egg. Here we are, Maputan 15. All right. So, that gave us a pretty good understanding of how portals work within a system. Before we go, I think it might be a good idea to fly up into space, check out the system address as it appears when we are at the space station, and then we'll warp to another system, a nearby system, and see how that changes the portal address. Now note that we just left the planet with the highest planet index value. In this case, it is 4, demarcated by the moon being the first glyph in our address. Since we're near that planet now, if we bring up the address while we are in space near the planet, you get the planet index there in the first position. Notice how far away from the space station we are. Let's fly on over. Okay, I'm going to come out of pulse right here. Notice the space station is fairly near the moon there. If we check the portal address here, we get the face because we are closer to the moon than we are to its planet. So if we move over here, it'll tell us 114,000 units to there, 136,000 to the planet, okay? I told you that the sort of default address for the system, which would be the address you'd get when you're in the space station, I told you that that's going to have the lowest value planetary index. Why, in this case, is it the face? Well, that's because the moon is actually the closest body to the space station, and therefore also the entry point into the system. And moons cannot ever have a planet index of 1. The highest planetary index a moon can have is 2. And that's just the way the game is set up. Only a proper planet may have a planetary index of 1. So this system is a little bit strange. The vast majority of systems you go into, the nearest planetary body to the space station would be a planet, most likely. And in that case, your first glyph would almost always be the bird. I have seen it be the sun before, but again, there's no planetary index of, there's no actual planet with an index of 0. If you input the sun instead of the bird, it will round up, essentially, and change that first value to 1 by default. All right, we're on the station, and just to show you I'm not making things up, we pull the address here at the station, and we see the face is indeed our very first glyph. And again, the first glyph is the planetary index. The next 3 glyphs are what? That's right, the solar system index. And the final 8 glyphs give us what? The voxel position within the galaxy, which is essentially the XYZ coordinates. All right, very good. And of course, it does matter what galaxy you are in as to what planet each address will point to. Each address is most likely valid within every galaxy, but it goes to very different worlds. All right, so we're here. What I'm going to do is hop into my freighter. It's here, but I'll just teleport over. It'll be quick. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go to a different system. I'll save while I'm here. Why not? All right, we go in here, go to the freighter map. Now, what we want to do is we want to enter free explore. And we want to go to a planet that's nearby. Now, one of the things, if we expand this is the system we're at. If you notice, it says earlier the name of the system there, current location, the region, the Kuchar sector. This has to do with our voxel address, okay? When we go to a different region, different values will change within your portal address. However, if we go to a different system that is within the Kuchar sector, we should see a similar address. Let's go to this one. I haven't been to this system, but we see it says region Kuchar sector. Let's see what the portal address is here compared to the system that we are leaving. All right, here we are. Brand new system. Since we discovered it, let's go ahead and scan the planets. Might find something good. Okay, this system has 2 moons, so we might also have a weirdness here too. We have 2 moons around this world. Let's see what the default address is here. Let me go to the space station for that. I'll just fly over there. All right, we're here at this very beautiful purple and blue space station. What is our default address here? Ah, we see that, in fact, the planet, the first planet, must indeed be the closest to the entry point. We have the bird, we have a sun, we have the moth, we have the diplo, we have a triforce, moth, moon, whale, triforce, whale, face, and the bug. So how does this compare to our previous portal address? Okay, so the first one is different, but that's our planet. The second one, the second value is delineated by the next three glyphs. So we have sun, teepee, tree. That was in our last system. Now we have sun, moth, diplo. So that's different because we are in a different star system. What about the rest of the value? Last time we had the triangle, the moth, the moon, the whale, the triangle, the whale, the face, and the bug. This time we have the triangle, the moth, the moon, a whale, a triangle, a moth, a face, a bug. Sounds familiar, huh? Triangle, moth, moon, whale, triangle, whale, face, bug. See, it's the same because we're in the same sector of the galaxy. Pretty neat, huh? Okay, let's head back to the freighter. I want to use the freighter for sure this time because we're going to warp very far away. And you'll see that the portal address is going to be all kinds of different this time. Our freighter has a nice big range. So Kuchar sector, we're going to get the heck out of the Kuchar sector. Let's go way over here. Let's kind of go max range. We'll just keep going until it, there we go, out of jump range. Let's back up just a little bit. All right, Sutofin. This is our region. Let's go to it. Super far away. We should expect to see a complete difference in our portal address, shouldn't we? Which glyph positions should be different? Okay, first contact again. It's best practice to scan the planets. What kind of worlds are we looking at here? Okay, we got 2 planets and 3 moons. Okay, interesting. We keep finding the interesting systems today. What is the address given on the freighter? All right, so the bird. So that's probably the default address. Now, I could check the address on my freighter. But just to be 100% certain we get the default address, let's fly over to the space station. It'll be nearby because remember, the space station is always near the entry point of the system. In this case, right off the bow of our ship. I like the colors here too. It's pretty cool. All right, we're here. Okay, so we have bird, bird, black hole, moon, triangle, whale, moon, teepee, bird, whale, face, parachute. Wow. So this is completely different. Our first glyph is normal because, again, that indicates the planet. And this system is pretty typical in that the first body that is near the space station is actually a planet. So we got the bird, which has hex value 1. The next 3 glyphs tell us what again? That's right, the solar system index, or the star system index. In this case, it is bird, hole, moon. And these are values that are assigned by the game in the background to each star system. It's how it keeps the star systems separated. And then the final 8 glyphs give us our sector of the galaxy or voxel address of the galaxy, which in this case is denoted by the triangle, whale, moon, teepee, bird, whale, face, parachute. Okay? Just to check something, let's hop out one more time. Since we're in a new sector of the galaxy, this time we're going not far, so we'll just use our ship's hyperdrive. We're going to stay in the Sutophan region. All right. So it turns out this was probably not the best system to use because there's no space station here, but we can still pull up a portal address. Look at that. Triangle, whale, moon, teepee, bird, whale, face, parachute. Look familiar? Yeah, I think it does. Let's go to another one. This time one that has a space station. I should have been paying attention. Here we go. Same region, Sutophan. Oh no, we have a battle. Okay, let me take care of this. All right, so here we are on the space station. And there's the address. Again, the voxel part of the address is triangle, whale, moon, teepee, bird, whale, face, parachute. You see, it's the same because we're in the same region of the galaxy. So within every region of the galaxy, which is denoted by the final 8 glyphs of any portal address, there are a set of systems. The specific system is given by the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th glyph in the portal address from the left. And then, of course, the leftmost is the specific planet. When you're on the space station, that planet index number will be for which planet or planetary body? That's right. For the one that is closest to the space station, sometimes it's not always going to be a bird, which has value 1. What are the times when it might be something else? Like a face, for instance. And that's right. When the closest body is actually a moon, no moon can have a planet index of 1. Only planets may have that. Okay, well, I think that about wraps up my explanation of portal addresses. I hope that makes sense to you all. If you have questions, please leave them in the comments. Be more than happy to answer your questions. You can also join our Discord. I like to chat with you and hang out with you there too. The link to join the Discord is also in the video description. And before you go, why not leave a thumbs up for the video if it helped you. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so. Your support means everything to me and helps me make great videos just like this one. For now, I'll bid you adieu wherever you are, whenever you are, and I'll see you next time for another exciting video. Bye-bye, everybody.